is January 4th, 2020, and I'm just getting ready to say goodbye to my 240D 4-speed, which we named Overdrive. If you haven't seen the videos on that, I'll put a link in the show more below this video. Now, this car is going back to the East Coast, and the truck should be arriving in the next couple days. So the next one I'm going to be selling that will also be ready for a long cross-country trip. The owner of the 240D just didn't want to chance it in the middle of January, so he's having it trucked. But I'm hoping someone will take the challenge to come out to Washington and drive this 1980 300D cross-country. We've done a lot of work on it, and I've affectionately named this one No Glow. It has a very unique blue color. You can see here, you don't see this color a lot. It's kind of a medium blue, and this is a very pretty 123 sedan. And I'm going to take you around and show you some of the features, but I want to explain now why I call it No Glow. I can't count the number of 5-cylinder diesel engines I've been around and worked on, but this engine here is amazing. It will start without even glowing it. Now granted, if it's freezing, you're going to need to glow it. But when I took the compression on this particular engine, all the cylinders were between 415 and 420 PSI. So this engine has some amazing compression. Watch as I get in the car and fire it up. Now, it hasn't been sitting overnight. It's probably been sitting out here for an hour. But I'm going to jump in the car now, and I'm just going to hit the key without any hesitation at all. And watch how quickly it jumps to life and runs smoothly. So watch closely as I just turn the key without any hesitation at all, and let's see how it starts. If you've been around diesels, just listen to this baby purr. Listen to that strong ignition and note the lack of vibration. Look at the cap. Cap's not even moving when I open it up. Amazing compression and virtually no blow-by. So now you see why I call this baby No Glow. I'm going to take you around and show you the body and the interior, and then we'll get it up on the lift and I'll show you what it looks like underneath. Since I have the car up on the lift today, I thought I would show you and explain to you some of the work that we've done on it here in the shop. Right off, you're going to notice this is a very attractive W123. I mean, the color kind of jumps out at you. It's kind of a unique color. But just look at the rear end. Look at how sharp the chrome is, the trim. You look down the side body panels. And what's really interesting is the previous owner put all brand new, this is brand new factory side trim pieces on it. So he was pretty fanatical, I think, as far as keeping it away from door dings and not letting anybody ding his brand new side trim. I've detailed the front end. It has really good fog lights. It has H4 upgraded headlights. And of course, with a lot of the cars I've had, this one is void of any road salt related rust. I mean, just look underneath this car. You can see how clean it is. And in the back end, you look at the rear end there and you can see it's real clean. It doesn't have grease dripping out of the rear differential. It doesn't have torn axle boots like you see on a lot of 123s. A fairly new exhaust system from the midsection on back. It's got new exhaust hangers. And of course, I've looked over the brake system. We've replaced the rear pads. You know, the calipers were good, so we just replaced the hoses there. And of course, the sway bar links were worn out, so we replaced those too. And then moving up to the front, you can tell that the shock absorbers recently replaced. They're in good condition. The front brake rotors as well as the pads are fine. Once again, we replaced those flexible brake hoses and flushed out all the old brake fluid with new brake fluid. So you look down here at the jack points, that just confirms the fact that this car hasn't been subject to road salt, which I think is the curse of these old cars. I'm sorry for you folks that live back on the East Coast, but you know, the person that bought Overdrive, that rust-free 240D 4-speed I had, you know, it's going back to Virginia, and I think he's going to really appreciate owning an absolute rust-free W123. I probably missed some things as far as what we've done on the car. You can go to my website. The description that lists this car for sale will include everything in detail, what we've done on the car, and also recommendations of what the new owner should probably do when they get the car. One of the best conversions that was done on this car, and it was done before I obtained it, was that the old climate control servo, this is the unit that controls the heat in the car, was removed, and a modern electronic unit was installed. So you have a simple valve here now, which is controlled by this electronic box, and this is a very reliable system. So if you come to get the car and drive cross country, you'll have good heat, and you'll be nice and warm and cozy. And by the way, if you had this done, this is about $1,000 conversion. So there's a lot of value right here. This heavy-duty Megatron Interstate battery has a tag on it of 2018, so it's not very old. And it shows 6-year warranty, so you can plan to get some good life out of the battery. And by the way, this is one of the cleanest W123s ever seen under the battery tray. We removed the battery tray. There was some surface rust underneath, but no rust through. There was no rust holes going into the cabin of the car. I did coat that with Miracle Paint, and I coated the battery tray with Miracle Paint to prevent corrosion in the future, and reinstalled it underneath this battery. And you can count on some good tires and wheels. This car has the 14-inch aluminum alloys. They're straight. The tires only have a couple thousand miles on them. They're virtually brand new, and they also have a 2018 date on them. If you're interested in purchasing this 300D and want to take it on a long cross-country trip, even if you were to purchase it now, I could store it until the spring when the weather gets better. I'll put a link below and take you to the website where I'll give you a full description and price on this little beauty.